Hello, bonjour, welcome to my channel. Thank you for watching my video, and special thanks for those who subscribe to my channel. This video is called Battlegroup Training, Part 10, Indirect Artillery or Mortar Fire. The use of artillery guns or mortars, because of its complexity, need to have a unit with the spotter special rules. So that means when you pick your units, some will come with special rules. If you intend to use mortar units, you will need some units with the mortar spotter special rules. The same apply if you want to use an artillery guns. You will need to have a unit with the artillery spotter special rules. It's important to understand a unit with the mortar spotter special rule cannot act as a spotter for the artillery gun, and an artillery spotter cannot act for a mortar team. So meaning if you intend to have a unit of mortar on the table, you will need a unit with the mortar spotter special rules. The same apply if you intend to have an artillery unit on the battlefield, you will need to have a unit that have the special rule artillery spotter. Using a mortar teams, we're going to do the full process of indirect artillery fire / mortars. Indirect fire with mortars or artillery needs several orders available. You cannot just have one order and do the entire process. You will need one order for the unit who will be spotting, one order per piece of artillery or per mortar unit. In this example, we will use the SD KFZ222, who have the special rule mortar spotter as my spotting unit, and we have two 80mm mortar team in the forest beside him. And we will do the entire process using with those two units, so we need three orders. First step, we need to do the request artillery fire order. So in this case, the SDKFZ222, who has the mortar spotter special rule, receive the order for spotting for the mortar team. Step 2 is a priority check. It only applies if you need to request artillery or mortar fire from the additional support section. Basically, it's this section you take an artillery or mortar team that is from higher level but not direct attached to your unit. In this scenario here, the mortar team are directly attached to my battle group, meaning they are there to support me at all time, so I don't need to check for priority. They are there for that. So we don't need to roll anything or do anything for step 2. Step 3 is communication test. This represents the capacity to pass information between the mortar spotter, so my 222 over here, and the mortar team over there. You need to roll a d6. The result has to be 3 or better. If you fail to pass communication test, the fire mission is cancelled, so there's no more step to follow. But in your battle group, depending on the size, you may decide to have communication relay team or forward signal unit or even wire team. And if you have any of those teams on the battlefield, you may re-roll your communication fail. In this case, we don't have a communication unit to help you. So communication test, you need to roll a 3+. You roll 5, that means you pass the test, you can continue on. Step 4, position spotter round to be at least in view of the spotter. So basically, you take your aim marker, you place it on the table. They have to be in the view of the spotter and at least 10 inches from your mortar team. So you place your marker on the table where you can see him and risk to provide the most damage. So I'm going to move a marker about here, and technically everything 10 inches around this marker can be subject to artillery or mortar fire. Step 5, roll for deviation. So you roll a d6 to see how accurate you are. 1 will miss by 4d6 in a random direction. 2 to 5, it's a miss by 2d6 in a random direction. And 6, it's accurate, so you roll 1d6 in a random direction. Basically, it's like the 222 spotter asks the mortar to fire 1 round. The round will fall somewhere on the table. Then the correction will be made and open fire will follow. So in this case, we roll and we roll a 5. So by rolling a 5, it means we're going to roll 2 dice and we're going to move the marker by the total of those 2 dice in inches. So we're going to roll 2 dice, and let's say we have 4. Now we need to know in which direction we're going to move the marker by 4 inches. For that, you can take 2d6. You roll them, for example, a 9, like clockwise. You go from 0 going north all the way around number 9, and you move 4 inches. Or you can roll a d6. When the d6 is on the table, there will be like a point of arrow in one direction. So let's say this way. So we're going to move the marker 4 inches going toward the Sherman that has been destroyed and the other Sherman beside. We just move the marker 4 inches in this direction. It's going toward the enemy. At this time, for example, the marker will not go toward friendly fire, friendly unit. You may say cancel the fire mission, and it stops right here. In this case, it's going in the right direction. We continue. So we continue the mission. We need to give order to each mortar team. Even if the two mortar teams are part of the same unit, when you pick them, they are two mortar teams. So each mortar team needs to receive its own order. I give order to each mortar team, so I use two order to fire mission toward the marker. In this case, we need to look at the mortar team, how many rounds they can fire. Each can fire 2 rounds. The only time it's not 2 rounds for artillery or mortar, if you fire rocket. But in case of artillery or mortar, each gun or mortar team will fire 2 rounds. So I need to roll 4 dice. 1 would be a miss, a 2 or a 5 would be pinning a unit, and a 6 would be a direct hit. Because it's never accurate, they fall a bit everywhere. If you roll a 6, you're lucky it falls directly to a unit or a vehicle, and 2 to 5 would just close enough to scare them or injure them. So we roll 4 dice. We have 1 6, so 1 direct hit, and 3 pinning. So how you place your direct hit and pinning unit? Pinning hit. First, using the direct hit. Every unit to a range of 10 inches, and the closest one from the marker will receive a direct hit. So when you look, the unit the closest to, let's say it's this one, will have the direct hit. Then we start again with the closest unit for the pinning roll. So this one is the closest one. Then because that is a 1 unit, we go to the next unit, the closest one. We look between my Sherman and the marker is 8 inches, and this one is 5 inches. So we attribute 1 pinning it to the infantry over there. The next one, we look at it. My infantry unit over here is 7 inches, while the Sherman is 8. We place 1 pinning to the infantry over there. So when it's all distributed like this, we solve each of those direct hit and pinning hit. Now it's time to resolve any direct hit. We have that infantry team, they receive a direct hit. For that, we use the aim fire with high explosive table, meaning you look at the mortar team, it's an 80 mm, and the HE effect is 4 dice, need to roll 4 plus. Each 4 plus would be a direct hit to one individual. We have a 3, 4, 6, and 1. There's 2 direct hit to the infantry. They need to do a cover save. In this case, they are in the forest, so they have in soft cover, and we need to roll 5 plus for each one to be safe. We roll those 2 dice. For 1, that means those 2 infantrymen has to be eliminated. Because they have casualty, we need to do a unit morale test for the infantry. In this case, we roll 1 dice. It's a 4. We look at the top unit morale table. You roll 1d6 for infantry. They are okay, but they lost 2 infantrymen. So to resolve pinning it, we use a table from suppressing fire HE weapon. 80 mm mortar team, it's considered a medium gun. Infantry, medium gun, it's a 3 plus. You roll a dice. A 3 plus may pin the unit. So we roll. We get a 6. Now this unit need to do a cover save. They are in soft cover because they are in the wood. Soft cover for infantry, we need to roll a 5 plus. We roll a 5, so they are good. They can continue. We got the second unit over here. We need a 3 plus for pinning them. We roll a 1. They are safe. The third unit here. We roll a 4, so they can be pinned as well. Now the unit is in the open with the artillery shooting. We need to roll a 6, save them. We roll a 2, the unit is pinned down. There's no morale test. We just put a pin for the unit, and that completes solving all the issue with direct hit and pinning. It completes the process for indirect artillery or mortar fire. You remove the marker, proceed to the next order. This concludes the indirect artillery mortar fire attached to your battle group. Any comments, please write it below in the comment section. Hope to see you at my next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.